Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is Tony's Two Cents. I am the founder and the director of Bravemaker. We're a 501c3 nonprofit film organization located in Redwood City, California. And I like to jump on the show and do these little short talks. I call them kind of short, big ideas, short talks kind of thing. The idea that in just about 10 minutes, I could go through some hopefully encouraging and helpful information for all of you who are in the creative entertainment industry and or emerging into it, aspiring to break in wherever you find yourself. I hope there's some little nugget of encouragement and truth that I can give to you today. Today, I have 6 questions that were submitted by an actress. Her name is Jessica, and she was an actor in a film that was in our film festival in 2019. I've loved watching and keeping in touch with her over social media and seeing her music and acting career. And she sent this, I think it's a project she's doing right now for school. And I said, you know what? Have you heard this phrase before? I'm going to plant 2 flowers with 1 seed. It's less violent than saying kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So instead of just sending an email out with my answers, I said, I'll make a video and then I'll make it go public. All right, so here's the questions. Number 1, did you ever consider being a screenwriter or any type of writer when you were younger? And my journey was really focused on acting and performing when I was a kid. I really loved the stage. Theater was my background forever. And then I started getting into print work and film and commercial. I got an agent, and I was really, really super focused on that part of the entertainment industry. But I realized, and this is kind of going into some other questions here, where she asked, this is her number 4 question, any advice for an aspiring screenwriter? I realized as an actor, I had to start writing and creating my own content. So when I was a kid, I loved telling stories. I loved English class. And then when involvement with my church, I started writing skits and sketches and stuff and realized, I think I could do this. I think I can craft the story and put myself in it or put my friends in it. So jump into your question number 4, advice for aspiring screenwriters. You just got to write. You've got to tell stories. You've got to stop hoping, wishing, dreaming that you could do it and just do it. I know it sounds a little bit maybe oversimplified, but start with getting writerduet.com or Celtx, CELTX.com, or Final Draft or Highland or any Fade In, any of the other screenwriting software out there, and start to write your story. Now, writers have to find their rhythm. They find out what works for them or not. I would suggest should dabble with the outlining and, a whiteboarding or note carding and figuring out what that story is going to be, figuring out your bullet points of that script. Doesn't always work for someone just to sit at a blank page and start to type. And do not type on pages or Word. Use a entertainment standard screenwriting format application like Final Draft or WriterDuet or Celtx. Okay, going back to number 2, how have you made connections in the film and writing industry? This is a relationship business. So you've got to put yourself out there, attending workshops, going to classes, interning, volunteering is how I made a lot of my relationships and how I made connections in the film industry. Is I just made my desire known. I know so many people who want to write or edit or direct, and they kind of just hope it's going to fall into the lap. That's not how it works. You put yourself out there, and you're going to have to do a lot of things for free. That's just how it works. Production assistants, otherwise known as PAs, is a great way to get in the industry and make connections. You volunteer to be an assistant on productions. Now, during COVID time, it's a little more challenging because crews are smaller and they don't have as many spaces for PAs, but you find your way in anyway. Volunteer, make it happen, make it known, let people know this is what you want to do. And then people might just start paying you. Now where I am now, I've had to pay my dues of working for free. People are still asking me to work for free. And occasionally for the right gig, I will. But at this point, it's like you work yourself up. You make yourself so good, like Steve Martin says, so good they can't ignore you. But every way is a way in. And there's no one way that's right for every one person. Okay. So utilize what you have and where you live. If you live in Austin or Chicago or New York or Pennsylvania, wherever you are, there is a community around. You have to find it. Social media is huge for that. Okay, special programs. Number 3, training, schools that you would recommend. Well, I just happen to lead one, so I'll have to definitely shout out the fact that Bravemaker does workshops, and we have one coming up in April. It's bravemaker.com/classes. You can go check that out. I'll put the link here in the chat. And we do workshops every Wednesday night, and they're cheap, $25 a week, $100 for a month. The whole goal is to get you, anyone who wants to make their work come to life. I see. Thank you for saying hi, Amy. And Jessica, we want to help people write and make their stuff. So if you go to bravemaker.com/classes, that's one way. Okay. There are tons of schools. Okay. There are, just Google screenwriting classes. And I would say Jacob Kruger, who is based out of New York, I've taken his workshops online. I'd say Pilar Alessandra in LA with On the Page. Those are the two. They're not paying me to recommend them, but I highly would tell you that they're great. But I'll tell you this, every single different teacher, including myself, is going to have a different way. You got to find out what's right for you. And the best way to do it is writing scripts as well as reading scripts, watching movies and reading scripts. If you Google any script you want to read, especially the ones that are up for awards right now, you could find them for free online. Great way to learn. Okay. I already answered number 4. Going to number 5. How did you create your first screenplay or script? So I just did it. I know that's kind of a theme here, but I based my first story off of somebody that I knew. I kind of had a relationship with a teacher who I really admired. She was fantastic in the work that she was doing, and I loved the impact she was having on kids and the care that she had for those whose parents had been incarcerated or were involved with gangs. So I just wrote a story based on her life. This was my very first film. It's called 1440 and Counting. I ended up being able to cast Loretta Devine in it, and it was a short film, and I got to do a ton of film festivals. It was just a ton of fun. I loved it, but I had to do it. I had to make it, and then I had to find my friends to DP it, be director of photography, and to edit it. And so it was a definite journey, but I just did it, and it was inspired by somebody I knew. So as they say in the industry, find a story that excites you, find something you would like to write about and or that you're interested about. Maybe you want to research a topic and write something that interests you that you don't know or that you haven't experienced firsthand. But a lot of people say in the industry, write what you know, write something you've experienced, write something that your voice could come from, that your voice and your characters that you create would be believable because you know it and you're familiar with it. Okay. Last question. How would you personally recommend succeeding in the industry? I think that's a really tough question, and that's very subjective. Everyone's going to answer that question about success differently. I would say for me, 2 things come to mind, maybe 3. 3 things come to mind about success in this industry. 1, am I personally satisfied? Do I feel like my gifts, my voice, my values are being honored and expressed in the stories that I'm telling? Because when that happens, I will feel satisfied. When the work that I'm doing feels good to me because it's doing something in me, in my soul. Okay. Number 2, is my work impacting and creating change in the world? That's really important for me. I want my stories, and I believe that's why I started Bravemaker right here. Bravemaker is here because stories have the power to change the world. That's why I created this. And if anybody's watching and or listening, you can go to our website at bravemaker.com/buzz and sign up to get our newsletter. We just sent one out today with a link to a free movie because we're talking to the filmmakers about it tomorrow. But I want to impact the world. I want to make a difference. I want the world to be better because of my work. So that's number 2. That's what I think is success. And number 3, am I able to provide for my family? Am I able to live off of my work successfully? I don't want a mansion. I just would like to be able to pay my rent successfully. Someday I'd love to own a home. I do not yet, but that's part of my goals. for success. Those three things. Am I personally being satisfied? Number two, am I making the world better and hopefully collaborating with other great people too to hire them and give them jobs, because the filmmaking craft is a collaborative art. If I write something, that means I get to employ actors and cinematographers and craftspeople. And three, am I successfully able to live off of my work? That's what I would say. So thank you, Jessica, for submitting these questions, and everybody else listening and or watching. I encourage you to go and follow us on all the socials. We're bravemaker.org, O-R-G. You can also find us at Brave Maker Film Fest, and we've got some things coming up. In June, we have a pitch festival. April, we're going to be doing a actors workshop. All this is going to be coming out on our social media as well as our e-news. And then on March 27th, we have a documentary forum for people who want to make documentaries. You can come and check that out. You are so much welcome, Amy and Jessica. Thanks for asking these great questions. And finally, if you want to see more about my journey or my work, my website is just my name, tonygapstone.com. I'll put it in the chat. You can go and check that out and see, it's been a long road for me. It's taken me quite a long time, and I'm still working at it. I've been doing this since I was in the 4th grade, and it's a lot of work and effort, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. This is the life that I want to live, and I want to encourage other people to do it too. So if this in any way is something you're curious to do, you can go to my website, and I have a coaching opportunity. You'll see at the top there where it says blog, coaching, contact. You can just click that on if you're interested. I'm happy to coach people in acting, in screenwriting. I do personal one-on-one stuff outside of my workshops and classes. But hey, it's been a pleasure, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and be brave, because brave stories change the world, and you